Hey guys,
It's Jennifer.
and it's Joniel. Welcome to a brand new series. This week we're going to be talking about maintaining friendships. And we really wanted to do this one because we find it so hard to keep up with friends who we used to be close with. Everything's fine when you're in high school, for example, and you're really close. But then when you move on to the next stage in life, which is like college, university, for me, I moved away, so it made it that much harder. And then you kind of just like drift. You move on, you meet new people, you still drift further and further apart. How do I like stay connected with this person? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to like maintain it. How do I like make sure I'm keeping up with what's going on in their lives when I have my own, stuff going on? We find it really hard. We found it even hard talking about the topic too to begin with. And so we wanted to make sure that we were exploring all the feelings that we feel during this time. And so this is what the new series is going to be about.
A lot of our thoughts after we finish school is like thinking about our dream job. What are we gonna do? What are our passion? Like, where am I gonna find that like special someone?
Yeah.
You don't really talk about your friendships. And when you're transitioning, that's like when there's a lot of changes going on that you don't even realize. Like, there's friends that should you be spending more time on them? Should you just let it be? Should you work on them and make sure that you're like growing in your friendships? We don't really know. Joniel and I, we were speaking about this topic and we were struggling a lot. And the big thing that we learned is that there's family where you're committed to no matter what, because obviously you're blood links, you grew up with them, and you're going to work through your problems naturally. You're going to bring it up and you're going to tell them tough things that you don't tell other people. And then you have your relationships, like your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and if it's not working, you either work on it or you're going to be like, this isn't working, I need to like split ways. But you don't really do that with friendships, right?
Yeah, no.
You don't really sit them down, like Jamia.
We're just talking about our shit now.
Yeah. You like add some adventure in it.
Yeah.
Or I'm not like, Jamil, I don't really like, we're not the same people we used to be. Let's like go do other things and meet other friends.
Yeah, we don't do that. There's no level of commitment that makes us feel like we need to either. So you kind of just like drift apart. And then the friendship's like in this weird like lingering stage where you don't know if you should reach out. The other person's not reaching out, so you're like, well, I'm not going to reach out because let's just let it be the way it is. So obviously we like found this one really hard. We struggled. So make sure along the way you're leaving comments below. Let us know if you relate to what we're talking about here. And let us know if you've heard anything that makes you feel better, because I personally would love to hear it.
Yeah,
so
we're
Jen,
confused.
we're confused.
Yeah.
So let us know.
So today we're going to be talking specifically about asking yourself, am I trying hard enough to be a good friend?
Yeah, and I find myself asking myself that sometimes. So I'll give you guys an example. I have this friend that I used to be close with in high school, and we would hang out all the time. We'd go to each other's houses. Everything was fun. She was like one of my closest friends. And then I moved away for university, and we completely drifted. We never kept in contact. Maybe in the beginning we did, but throughout the couple years that I was away, we never really saw each other, and we kind of just did our own thing. We both met new friends, I guess, and we kind of just like lived our own lives. And then when I moved back in town, we kind of bumped into each other and we reconnected, and it's kind of like you pick up where you just last left off. I find that a lot with old friends. Like you can not see them for a long time, but when you see them again, it's like you never even separated. So we kind of just jumped right back into being friends. We would hang out still and talk and stuff. But then I guess it reached a point where the initial excitement was over that we reconnected. And so we never, I guess, tried hard enough to keep that going. She did a way better job than me. Like she would always initiate like, let's go out, let's hang out, let's catch up, let's talk. And I guess I wasn't really pulling my weight, to be honest. I found myself feeling guilty. Like I kind of questioned, like, am I being a good friend? Like I should probably reach out more, and you kind of know it, like you know that you should. And then now we don't talk as much as we used to. So I guess that feeling of guilt just like weighs on my mind a lot, and I feel burdened. Like I feel like I should reach out. So that's the situation I'm in right now with my friend.
Similar to Joniel, sometimes I also get myself in those situations, and I ask myself, am I reaching out enough? Am I putting enough effort into this friendship? Like, I'm not purposely trying to do this. I'm not trying to drift apart from them. It just kind of happens. And I feel really guilty about it. But when I do put like some effort into just reaching out, saying, how are you doing? And then they just reply back like, everything's good. How about you? Everything's good. It just feels really forced. It doesn't feel like a real like friendship.
Yeah, and it feels like you did it out of obligation and not because you actually wanted to. It feels like a chore that you just like check marked off your list. You're like, okay, good, got that covered. Talk to my friends today. It doesn't really feel like you're being a good friend, and you know it too. Yeah,
I get really anxious too. Like I'm thinking, I don't want to be viewed as a bad friend, and any day they're gonna call me out that, you know what, Jen, you're not even like really trying. You're just kind of like faking this friendship. What do we do in this friendship? Like, our friendship's something that it's there or it's not, so don't try. Or it's something that, you know, like any type of relationship, you got to work towards it. And what we thought about is sincere intentions forms sincere friendships.
So when I think about these situations and I think about my intention going into it, it's more out of a feeling like I should say something, or it's like more of obligation. However, when you take this approach, it's more of a generic friendship that you have. You text your friend and you're like, hey, what's up? Good. How about you? Good. And it's like just that generic, like surface level friendship that doesn't really mean anything. And then when it's like that, it just feels forced. You're not really engaged, and you question, like, am I a good friend? Because this is just not working out. You take a more personal approach, and let's say you follow up with something that you guys were talking about before, or let's say they ask you about work. You don't just say, oh, it was good. Like, obviously there was something that happened in that day that either made you feel happy or sad or something. So just say that. Like, talk about something that's a little bit more deep-rooted and a little bit more real. That way the relationship and the conversation will be more engaging, and you'll actually be interested in what the other person has to say, because it's not so like surface level and generic. And you'll actually be like in tune with your friend and actually like growing together and actually like keeping in touch with them.
After you graduate, life gets really busy, and it's not expected that you have to hang out with them as much as you used to back in high school or university, or that you have to spend a whole day with them, and the length of time is what determines your friendship. And you are, say, going on in your daily life and something reminds you about that person, like you can send them a text, hey, this reminds me about you, or like send them a link to a funny clip or something, or when you go travel somewhere, you think of something and you just bring it back. Not that you have to, but it's just little like touch points that like have a deeper meaning. And so that's what we're saying is sincere intentions form sincere friendships.